Let's see if I'm back. I think we had some technical difficulties there. So here we go for take two. So give me some feedback in the chat room if you've got me. I'm sorry about that, but I've told you we've had some storms in here, and well, you do the best you can when you have. It's sort of like when your satellite TV goes out during a storm. You know what I'm talking about. So hopefully I'm back. I think I am. I'm going to go to the chat room and take a peek and see if you guys are still with me. Thank you for your patience this morning. Let's see if I can see anything here from you guys in the chat room as I try to get back. And talking about run score, we went with Betts with 77, Trout with 71, Devers with 69. So there you have two Red Sox players out of the top three leading the league in runs scored. And isn't that what it's about? So what that tells me is the Red Sox are not having problems hitting the ball, scoring runs. It's because they're just not pitching effectively. So thank you, that guy. I usually do this show on my laptop or on my iPad, but again, due to my constraints this morning, I'm not able to do that. But I'm glad to be back, so we'll just keep rolling. Thanks, guys, sticking with me. So again, Red Sox have two of the top three league leaders in runs scored, and then number 4 is Xander Bogaerts. So we have three in the top 4 Red Sox. The Red Sox are scoring runs. That's not the problem. They got to start pitching. LeMahieu, 65 runs scored. Merrifield, 62. Bregman, 61. Marcus Semien, 61. Edwin Encarnacion, 60. Of course, he's hit 25 home runs. And Carlos Santana for Cleveland at 60. So who are surprises there that we haven't already talked about? I don't know. Maybe Marcus Semien. Oakland, not really someone you might think of scoring a lot of runs, although they've sort of got the look of a softball team. They've got a run differential of plus 67. And as far as American League rank goes, they come in at 5th in the American League in run differential. So they are scoring more than the opponents. Semien playing every day. He's having a pretty good year. So, again, I'm seeing some similar names: Betts, Trout, Devers, Bogaerts, LeMahieu. Top 5 are Yankees, Red Sox, and Mike Trout. So those are your unscored leaders. OPS in the American League leaders here at the All-Star break. Mike Trout, there you go, 1.098. Carlos Santana, second, 0.958. Alex Bregman, 0.927. Rafael Devers, 0.923. Bogaerts, 919. JD Martinez, 918. Moncada, 908. Voit for the Yankees, 901. And Dozier, 900. Dozier and LeMahieu at 900. So you got 10 and over 900. And look at there. Again, Red Sox, you got Devers, 4. Bogaerts, 5. JD Martinez, 6. That's why I keep thinking the Red Sox are going to open up a can in the second half if their pitching can just stabilize. And, of course, you got Trout. Carlos Santana, second in OPS in the American League. Are you kidding me? What a comeback season. They reacquire him over the offseason. He spent last year with the Philadelphia Phillies, back in Cleveland, playing a lot of first base. Not so much DHing this year, but playing a lot of first base. Having the best year of his career is Carlos Santana. Hits in the American League: Merrifield with 117, LeMahieu 113, Devers 112, Jorge Polanco 111, Michael Brantley 108, Domingo Santana for Seattle 102, Semien 102, Andrus 99, Bogaerts 98, and Jose Abreu 96. Those are your hit leaders in the American League. Now we'll go over to the National League, where atop the batting average in the National League, McNeil for the Mets. 349, leading the National League by 13 points in batting average as we leave the All-Star break and go forward. What a first half for Jeff McNeil. So let's give him a little kudo there. Batting second is Cody Bellinger at 336. Charlie Blackmon at 330. Christian Yelich, a 329 average. Nolan Arenado, 312. Ketel Marte, 311. Freddie Freeman, 309. David Dahl, 308. Rendon, 304, and Alex Verdugo, 302. So who are surprises there? Certainly McNeil leading the National League in batting has got to be a big surprise, and he leads it rather heavily here with 13-point lead. You know, I told you the other day I was watching him play, and you've guys watch the Mets play a lot. I mean, he's got this bat with no knob on the end. It's like he's swinging a broomstick, but it produces hits, so keep on swinging your broomstick, Jeff McNeil, in the second half. The Mets need everything they can get. They go into the second half, the Mets, I mean, come on, 40 and 50, 13 and a half games out. So McNeil's going to play, he's going to hit, and he could lead the league in batting. Bellinger, 13 points behind. Charlie Blackmon, always in this discussion. Yelich is fourth, fallen off a little bit lately. I was hoping he might win a Triple Crown, but he's now 20 points behind in the batting race. The biggest surprise, though, I think, in this whole list, other than McNeil leading, is Ketel Marte. 311, 20 homers, 58 RBIs, switch hitter, multi-positional eligibility, and I don't know, anybody, I didn't see this coming. Did anybody see this coming from Ketel Marte? I mean, when you drafted him probably for stolen bases. You drafted him for multi-positional eligibility because you knew he was going to play outfield before the draft this year. But did you draft him for a 311 average and 20 home runs? If you said you did, then I'm going to say bull hockey, as Lenny might say back to you. You didn't draft him for home runs. You didn't draft him for a 311 average. But if you drafted him, kudos to you because he is producing at such a high level. And why won't he continue in the second half? If Jack Youngblood says if it wasn't for Pete Alonso, Verdugo would be Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I don't know, Jack. Austin Riley in the National League, he's hit 16 home runs, hasn't even played the full first half. It's going to be hot in Atlanta this summer. The ball's going to be flying out of that park, and he's going to hit more home runs. I think Alonso wins I think the home run derby last night probably helps him even win Rookie of the Year. You know, everybody, last night that was the only show in town. You know, the night before it was the Futures game. Last night, the only show in town, baseball-wise, was the Home Run Derby, and here Alonso is winning it. And so that can only increase his electability, I think. But I don't put Verdugo second. Maybe he will be. Maybe you're right. We'll see. But I just think Riley's going to get votes. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And I also think Tatis, I think he's going to finish ahead of Verdugo. Don't forget Tatis. You know, he's going to be a 25-25 guy. And he was out for a while with an injury. But if you watched him play, I mean, he plays so hard and he's got such keen instincts. I would say if it weren't for Alonso, Tatis would be Rookie of the Year. He's my pick. Home runs in the National League. Here's a race. Number 1, Christian Yelich at the break, 31 home runs. Alonso and Bellinger, 30 each. Bell, 27. Hunter Renfroe, 27. Mike Moustakas, 25. Franmil Reyes, 25. Freddie Freeman, 23. Javi Baez, 22. And Mike Muncy, 22. Surprises? I'm not surprised with Yelich. I'm surprised at 31. Not surprised he's in the top 10. Bellinger, did you see that coming before the year started with 30? Josh Bell, 27. Hunter Renfroe, 27. I mean, what I'm getting at is almost everyone on this list, to me, either their number is a surprise or their slot is a surprise. Maybe Baez. Okay, I'm not surprised. Freddie Freeman's never hit more than 30 home runs in a year, and he's got 23 at the All-Star break. We didn't know the ball was going to be wound so tight, did we? Mike Moustakas at 25, are you kidding me? Renfroe, 27. You didn't see that coming. Renfroe tied for 4th in the National League in home runs. And I bet in some leagues, 10-team leagues or less, I bet he's on some waiver wires. DK Luce says, what about Soroka? You know, yeah, I think you're right, DK. I think Soroka is in the top 5 for Rookie of the Year. But I just think Tatis and Alonso are 1-2. Again, I guess we all have our opinions, right? But Soroka, I got a few concerns about Soroka. One concern is how much is he going to pitch in the second half? Are they going to try to limit innings because they want him for the playoffs? Are they going to skip a start or two? I think all those things could factor into Rookie of the Year. But certainly Soroka's in the discussion, no doubt about it. His ERA is on the All-Star team. He's going to get wins on that Braves team. Pitch count, you're right. I just got some concerns. RBI leaders in the National League. Josh Bell at 84. He leads by 13. Stop a moment. Let's talk about Josh Bell. Unholy Toledo says he wants to talk about Renfroe. Almost cut him back in April. Yeah, and I think Renfroe plays every day. And can't you see San Diego trading away an outfielder? Could they trade away Renfroe? Could he go to Cleveland? Just throwing that out there. I mean, they've got a cluster of outfielders. And, I'm thinking back a month or two ago, trade Will Myers. Well, the problem with trading Will Myers for San Diego is who wants him? He stinks. He's not had a good year. He doesn't have much trade value. Who's got more trade value? Hunter Renfroe? Certainly Renfroe has more trade value. Myers doesn't. Franmil Reyes could have trade value. But, I don't see them trading away these guys who could be cornerstones going forward on a young team. But I guess if you blow them away with an offer, they're going to at least consider it. So we'll see. Josh Bell, 84 RBIs. Bellinger, 71. Alonso, 68. I seem to be calling his name out a lot today. Freeman at 68. Arenado, 67. Here's one. Eduardo Escobar tied for 5th in the National League with 67 RBIs. I didn't see it coming. Yelich, 67. Baez, 62. Harper, 62. Hosmer, 62. Your top 10. There's a lot of difference between 1 and 3. Bell at 84. Alonso at 68. Josh Bell. The discussion keeps being, do you trade him? Okay, well, let me trade that on. Do you trade Alonso? In 2019, and if you're in a redraft league for this year, why would you trade Josh Bell? If I'm not mistaken, he's already hit 3 balls into the Allegheny River this year. He's got people in front of him. Newman hitting like 340. Probably not going to continue, but he's going to go on base. He's got people in front of him in that Pirates order who are going to be on base, and he's going to be, as a switch hitter, driving in runs. Jack Youngblood, if Renfroe goes to Cleveland, would the Indians send McKenzie to San Diego? I guess you mean would McKenzie... Oh, you mean the starting pitcher. He's been hurt this year. I don't know. Good question. If Renfroe goes to Cleveland, DK Luce says they'll pass Minnesota. I totally agree. And that's why I think there's you a trade partner. Now, who the other players might be, I have no idea. But he's talking about Tristan McKenzie. Tristan McKenzie, a high-ranking pitching prospect for Cleveland. Would they send him to San Diego? And, the thing with San Diego, they are pitching rich at the minor league. They've got a pitcher from North Carolina, Mackenzie Gore, drafted in the first round last year, who was at the Futures game. And Mackenzie Gore is a great talent, a left-handed pitcher. Now, Tristan McKenzie, the Cleveland prospect, is a hard-throwing right-hander. Salazar coming back. That's true. So Cleveland may have an arm to send to San Diego who could use a major league ready arm. They're in the wild card race, guys. San Diego's only 2 games out of the wild card. Imagine them with a quality starting pitcher in the second half since they have a riches of outfielders. So I think that guy thinks it's Bauer or bust for Renfroe. I wouldn't put it past him. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Talk about stolen bases real quick. Dyson leads the